Good morning, friends. I, Dr. V. M. Tidke, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Department of MBA, welcomes you all. Today, let us continue our studies of unit number 4, that is network analysis under decision science. So, in particular, we are going to learn the steps in network analysis. At the end of the session, every student will be able to understand the various steps in network analysis. Friends, so far you are already clear with the concept of network analysis, and I told you that it is a project scheduling and planning based methodology whereby you are trying to effectively make the usage of organizations resources just to meet the deadlines, and this is possible by understanding the various milestones that appears in a complex set of project whereby number of activities are involved, and also by evaluating the interrelationships between them. So this was network analysis, and now let us try to see the various steps in network analysis. So basically in a network analysis of in the form of PERT or CPM, there are four basic processes. Number one is project planning, then construction of a network, then network analysis, and lastly project control. So the first one is a project planning. So friends, I will just take an example so that you will be in a position to understand. So for example, if somebody wanted to start a company for which he has to raise funds from share market. Okay. Now, in the first thing, he will have to plan the entire project, that is enactment of an IPO. So to run an IPO or to come up with an IPO, that is initial public offer, there is a complex process which involves number of activities. So in the planning, the first thing that you will have to do is you'll have to identify the number of activities that are involved in the process of coming up with an IPO. So the processes could be, you might have to develop your own business proposal, then you'll have to appoint a merchant banker for your company, then you'll have to apply to SEBI for IPO, then you'll have to comply various documentation expected by SEBI, then you'll have to comply various regulatory norms from government's ends. So these are the number of activities that you'll have to run. Okay. Then second thing that happens in project planning is you'll have to identify the interrelationships of various activities. The interrelationship is just identifying as to whether which activities are correlated with one another, which activities are coincidental to one another, which activities are dependent on to one another, or which activities has a relationship that without finishing the first one, second cannot be started, or which activities can work hand in hand, or what are the timings and what are the resources required to finish or to start the activity. So this is nothing but the interrelationships among us various activities. Okay. And thirdly, in project planning you'll have to determine the different resources that will be required to complete the activity. Sometimes you will require main, sometimes you'll require the technical assistance, sometimes you require some outside services, you also require some time and financial resources. So these are the number of resources that would be involved in the process of organizing or conduction of an activity which is a part of a project. So that is one of the essential thing to be considered in the project planning, that is determining the organizational resource requirements. Once you are clear with this, you have ended up with project planning, and then the second phase goes, that is a construction. Construction is simply you'll have to draw a network on the basis of the interrelationships of various activities which are involved in the process of completion of a project. So a network construction is simply you'll have to draw a flow chart whereby you'll be identifying as when the first activity would start, how much time a first activity would take, then when second would start, and so on and so forth. What are the different activities involved, what is the time frame within which those activity needs to get performed, what is their starting time when the activity should get finished up, what are the preceding and succeeding relationship among us various activities involved in the project. So this is the something that you'll have to understand, and based on that you have to draw a network, and that is nothing but a construction of a network. Then the third thing, once you are clear with this network, the third thing that comes is you have to analyze the network. So when it comes to analyzing the network, you'll have to basically consider things like you have to schedule the activities, means when the activity would start, when the activity would get finished. Then you'll have to identify the floats and slack points. Float and slack points are nothing but sometimes it happens that after activity 1, activity 2 happens. So the beginning end point of activity 1 and beginning point of activity 2 are different. So there is a time lag among us that, or there sometimes the finishing time of activity 1 is more than the starting time for activity number 2. So in those kind of complex situations you need to have some alterations to ensure that you will meet the deadlines, and you will also ensure the successful effective consumption of resources. So that is the identification of floats and slack for controlling parameters. Then thirdly, you need to have a probability calculations, as this is the paper based activities whereby you are entirely planning the things on paper on the basis of some standard modus operandi, or on the basis of some standard that you are available with, or on the basis of the environmental factors that are operative in the market. But as you all know that market is always dynamic, and there are possibilities of changes that might arise. So with those dynamic changes that are happening in the economy, you need to ensure your project would meet its deadline, and for the same you need to be very much realistic, and for the same you have to develop the probabilities associated with the network that you have drawn, with a view to understand as to what could be the possible areas wherein the concentration needs to be given, or what are the sensible points whereby you need to have some provisions or backups to make sure that your project would finish in deadlines. And lastly, you'll have to develop or to decide the critical path. Critical path is nothing but is nothing but a series of activities, or a sequence of an activities which needs to get finished with the view to ensure the minimum expectation for finishing of the project. So that is a critical path. These are the number of activities that must get finished with a view to ensure that the project has met with its completion. So you need to come to that as well, and if you are clearly knowing all of these factors, then only you will be in a position to have a better controlling of your projects. Okay, so then the last step that comes in a network analysis or in a PERT CPM is the project control. So once you are clear with the scheduling, float and slacks, then probabilities and the critical path mechanism that is operative, that is possibly operative in the network, so then you will be in a position to control your project. So controlling your project means you'll be doing the resource analysis, whereby you can effectively plan as to the usage of your resources and the sources and the timings onto which these resources would be in action, so that there'll be a timely availability of resources, and at the same time they'll be available at the least possible cost. So that is a resource analysis, we call it as. And lastly, sometimes it happens that in a project, when you are developing a network, there are possibilities of changes into the process that you were following because of some dynamic happenings into the economy, or some of the factors that are not in your control. So based on those external factors, you need to allocate, or you need to readjust your course of action, or you need to reallocate your resources, or you need to replan your activities so that your deadlines would meet, or if there are any changes which needs to get incorporated in the project that is already on. So all those things has to get happen through this allocation and readjustment of project flow. So this is entirely the process of network analysis, or these are the various steps involved in the process of development of networks like PERT and CPM. PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique, and CPM stands for Critical Path Method, two of the outcomes of a process called network analysis. I hope you have understood the video. So kindly do a small exercise. List down the various steps in the process of network analysis and try to explain them with the help of certain examples. I thank you all for watching the video. If you have any doubts to be asked, you can contact me on the mentioned details. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Thank you.